Hello everyone. For Tuesday's video announcements today, there's just a few things, not as much as yesterday. There is no new music recording for today. After you've submitted what you did for yesterday, make sure you keep practicing and refining it. For today's assignments, we have a couple of discussions. One discussion for anyone in symphonic, wind symphony, advanced percussion, and intermediate percussion. I posted two of the evaluators tapes from the ILMEA festival that we did at the beginning of March. Listen to either of those tapes or both, and then I add a couple of discussion questions to kind of guide your answers. All right, just need a post from you. Feel free to respond to other people's posts. And then for all of the wind sections, concert band, symphonic band, and wind symphony, there was a topic that I wanted to bring up this week regardless of chair placement, of possibly doing that next year. If you don't know what a chair placement system is, it is basically taking everyone in the section and assigning them a chair number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, depending on how many people there are in the section. And your first chairperson would always be the person that would get the solos, first parts, and then evenly split the rest of the parts on down the line. For some of us, this may sound like a good idea. For some of us, this may sound like a bad idea. There are pros and cons to a chair placement system. However, for some of us, this may also take off the stress of getting a higher part. Some of us may get nervous about playing in a higher range. Some of us may feel more comfortable in a fourth chair, fifth chair place where we would get seconds and thirds, and like that's where we shine. So that's something else to consider. Or fourth and fifth chair are also sometimes a good place in any particular band for a younger player to develop their tone on some of those less demanding parts that are in the high range. There are pros and cons to everything. That doesn't mean that first chair person would always get that solo as well. The second chair, third chair people may also need to be practicing that solo because, as we know, you don't know who is going to be sick on any given performance day, so we got to have people ready to go. Let's take our wind symphony clarinets, for example. We have 9 of them. There also may be a scenario where we have chairs 1, 2, 3, 4, and that fourth chair person would be the first person to get a solo if it was only in the second clarinet part. So just because you're on a lower chair doesn't mean you're never going to get a solo either. If we went to this system, it also means that there would be no rotating chairs anymore. So I go through all the part assignments and say, all right, this person's going to have first on this song, but then they're going to move to third on this song, and so on. We wouldn't do that anymore, and so you just always know what part you're going to play. That does help on the logistical side. So in the discussion, I just want you to chat about that. What do you like about it? What you don't like about it? And this is from your own personal point of view. Doesn't mean that we're going to a chair placement system, but I do want to hear what you have to say. If everyone's against it, we won't do it. If everyone likes it, then we'll go ahead and do it. I will also say that several years ago, we did try this out, and it didn't work out so well, but that was a whole another group of students. And I know some people have been asking for, so let's have that discussion and see if it's something we want to move to. Some new music also came in via PDF today. So there's a new piece for intermediate and symphonic to download. It is called Catalyst. And then there's also a piece for concert band to download. It is called Truckosaurus. Both pieces are by Daniel Montoya Jr., a Latino composer. For the end of today's video announcements, the fun thing today is I will give you a book recommendation. We also have another brief clip from Mr. Pearson on a song recommendation for today. My book recommendation is something that I've been reading lately. It is called Artemis by Andy Weir. The premise of the story is there is a colony on the moon that has been established there for quite a while, and a blue-collar worker who kind of goes around and delivers items and is trying to get their certification to go outside on the moon and fix basically like what you would almost consider like HVAC systems and doing tours on the moon. Sabotages some equipment for some extra pay, and that's as far as I am right now, so it's not really much of a spoiler, but it's a very enjoyable read. It's very funny. If you don't know Andy Weir, he also wrote another book called The Martian. This was made into a movie several years ago with Matt Damon. Movie is good, book was better, as it usually goes, but it's very dry. And the thing that I think makes both of these books very enjoyable, at least for me, is it's funny, but Andy Weir used to be a programmer and worked for a variety of science jobs. So everything that's written in both of these books is based in real science. So like when you watch Fast and the Furious movies or any type of ridiculous action movie where like that can never happen, everything he writes about is backed up by science and math. And this particular story too, if you want to check this out, is about a astronaut who goes to Mars with a team and then accidentally gets left behind, and so he has to figure out how to survive on Mars for a year and a half while another rescue team comes and gets him. And he doesn't know if they're coming, so he has to figure out like how to make enough food for himself. He has to figure out how to get a message back to Earth so they know that he was left behind and not actually dead. It's a very interesting book about problem solving. So if you have extra time in your hands, check those books out. I'm going to try and finish Artemis this week. Maybe in one of the later announcement videos, I will talk about what I thought about the end of the book. But to wrap up today, here is Mr. Pearson and his song recommendation.
Hey everybody. I am hoping that you guys are keeping up with everything you need to do. I hope you guys are feeling alright and staying healthy, not stocking up on too much stuff that you don't need. I wanted to recommend a song of the day today, and that is Just the Two of Us featuring Bill Withers by Grover Washington Jr. Grover Washington Jr. is a saxophone player. He does a lot of alto, a lot of tenor, and soprano. I would consider him maybe a better version of what Kenny G is trying to sound like. Okay, really smooth, really soulful. This song is really awesome, especially in a time like this where people are having a rough time. Basically, it's about two people. In this situation, a romantic relationship, just talking about hard times, good times, and getting through it together. Really smooth, really peaceful, kind of sit back and just listen on a rainy day type song. And I couldn't think of anything better during a time when we all have to be inside to help calm your nerves and just get you through a hard time. Yeah, that's Just the Two of Us by Grover Washington Jr. Check it out.
I see the crystal raindrops fall, and the beauty of it all is when the sun comes shining through to make those rainbows in my mind when I think of you sometime, and I want to spend some time with you. Just the two of us, we can make it if we try. Just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
Just the two of us, building castles in the sky. Just the two of us, you and I. We look for love, no time for tears. Wasted water's all that is, and it don't make no flowers